Shush. Flour falls through your fingers. A whisper of white onto the wooden bench below. Somewhere near the window, a paper bag settles with a quiet rustle. You let your palm rest on the bench for a moment, just feeling the wood, cool and smooth and sure. And from the heart of the room, the old brick oven answers. Hum, tick, hum. The bolt on the door is drawn. The stone walls hold 200 winters of warmth. Your stool is sturdy beneath you, the latch firm and sure. Outside, the village sleeps under snow that fell all through the night. No footprints yet on the lane, no light in any window but this one. Just you, just the oven, just the flour waiting to become something. This is the village bakery. Before dawn, before the world wakes, before anything is asked of you. Rest now. This is Pillowside Night Stories. The clock in the corner reads just past 4. You arrived not long ago, slipped through the door while the dark was still complete, hung your coat on the wooden peg by the entrance, the same peg that has held 100 coats before yours. Your hands were cold from the walk, but not anymore. The room found them immediately, wrapped them in warmth you didn't have to ask for. You slid the bolt into place, a soft, certain sound, click. The kind of sound that says, nothing comes in that isn't welcome. Nothing goes out that isn't ready. The mat beneath the door is worn soft, wool, perhaps, or something older. It caught the snow from your boots, held it there, let it melt into nothing. Now you sit on the stool by the bench, wooden, solid, the kind that doesn't wobble, the kind that has held patient people through countless early mornings. The lamp above casts everything in amber, and in that light you can see the flour, floating, drifting, tiny particles suspended in the warm air, dancing slowly, going nowhere, in no hurry to land. The walls are thick, stone that has kept this warmth for generations. You can feel it radiating from the bricks near the oven, from the floor beneath your feet, from everywhere and nowhere at once. The bakery sits on the corner of the village square. It has been here longer than anyone remembers. Longer than the church, some say. Longer than the lane that leads to it. You're not the baker, not the owner, just a helper. Someone who comes in the early hours. Someone who knows where everything belongs. Someone whose hands remember the work even when the mind is still waking. There's comfort in that. Knowing your place, knowing your tasks, knowing that the rhythm of this room will carry you forward without effort. The oven fills most of the back wall, brick, old brick, darkened by years of fire. The iron door is warm to the touch, even from here. Inside, the fire has been burning since yesterday, building heat, storing warmth, waiting for the dough that will come. Someone else is here, in the corner, tending to something you can't quite see. You hear the soft scrape of a tool against wood, the gentle placement of something being set down, but no words, no need for words. You've worked beside each other many times, in these dark hours, in these quiet hours, sharing the same warmth, breathing the same flour-dusted air. That's enough. That's company enough. Through the small window, the village, white, completely white. The snow stopped sometime in the night, but it left everything changed, softened, quieted. The rooftops gentle slopes of white, the church steeple a shadow against the deeper dark, the lane unmarked, untouched, waiting. No one is awake, no one will be for hours. And you have nowhere to be but here, nothing to do but this, no one waiting, no one asking. Just warmth, just flour, just the steady pulse of the oven behind you. Hum, tick, hum. A sound that has filled this room for 200 years. A sound that asks nothing of you but presence. The bench stretches the length of the room. Oak, worn smooth by countless hands before yours. You can see the history in it. Grooves where dough has been pressed and folded. Pale patches where flour has soaked into the grain. Scratches from scrapers sliding across the surface. Each mark a morning, each groove someone's quiet work. The tools are arranged along the shelf above, each one in its place, each one waiting for hands that know them. A brass scale sits at the far end, old, heavy, the kind with two pans that balance against each other. When you set something on one side, the needle tilts, slow, deliberate, finding its center without rushing. A copper sieve hangs from a hook, the mesh worn thin in the middle from years of use. When you tap it, flour falls like indoor snow. Shh, a sound softer than thought. The wooden scraper rests beside the scale. Smooth handle, curved blade. It fits your palm without adjustment. Someone patient showed you how to hold it once, how to let your wrist stay loose, how to guide rather than force. A pastry brush lies in a small dish, soft bristles, for glazing, for gentle sweeping. When it moves across dough, it makes almost no sound at all, just a whisper, just a breath. Linen cloths are stacked in a basket nearby, clean, soft, pale as the flour itself. For covering dough while it rests, for tucking it in like something that needs protecting. The bannetons wait on a lower shelf, round baskets lined with cloth, spiral patterns carved into the woven sides. When dough rises inside them, it takes the pattern, carries it to the oven, wears it like a quiet signature. Near the window, a proofing cupboard stands closed. Wooden doors, brass hinges gone dark with age. Inside, warmth gathers and holds, a small space made for rising, for slow transformation, for patience. On a hook beside it, paper bags hang in a neat row, brown, simple. The kind that fold at the top and hold their shape, twine coiled beside them, for tying, for carrying, for the moment when bread leaves this room and enters someone's morning. But that's later, much later. For now, everything waits. Against the far wall, a shelf holds the quiet necessities. Tins with soft lids, jars with handwritten labels too faded to read. A block of butter wrapped in pale paper, cool to the touch. A ceramic pot of honey, the color of late autumn. Salt in a wooden box with a sliding top. Oats in a cloth sack, tied loosely at the neck. You reach for nothing, but you let your gaze rest there. On the paper that wraps the butter soft crinkle when touched. On the jar lid, a quiet twist to open. On the salt box, the wooden top slides with a hush. On the tin beside it settled, still waiting. Each thing in its place, each place unchanged for years. The kind of order that doesn't need thinking, the kind that simply exists, like the walls, like the oven, like the warmth itself. A sack of flour leans against the corner, heavy canvas, dusty white at the seams. It will be here tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. The pantry doesn't ask to be noticed. It simply holds what is needed, ready when hands reach for it, content to wait until then. On the shelf beside you, a cup, cocoa, made earlier, still warm enough. You wrap your hands around it, feel the heat move into your palms, the same warmth the oven gives, the same warmth the flour holds after it's been sifted. You take a sip, rich, sweet. The warmth slides down and settles somewhere deep. You set the cup back. There will be time for more. There is always time here. The window has fogged at the edges, warmth meeting cold. Through the clear center, the snow, still white, still untouched, still holding the village in its quiet. Hum, tick. The oven breathes, the flour waits, and you're ready to begin. Before anything else, the sieve. You lift it from its hook. The copper is cool against your fingers. The mesh catches the lamplight, thousands of tiny squares, each one a doorway for flour to fall through. You hold it over the bench, over the small mountain of white already waiting, and you tap. Tap. Shh. A cloud of flour descends, soft, slow, like snow falling inside a room. like the world outside made small enough to hold. You tap again, tap, shh. The flower settles onto the pile below, lighter now, airier, ready. Tap, shh, settle, tap, shh, settle. The rhythm needs no counting. The wrist knows when to stop. The flower knows when it's enough. You hang the sieve back on its hook. A soft sound, metal finding its place. The flower is ready now. A small mountain of white on the wooden bench. You make a well in the center, a hollow, a space for things to begin, like a bowl shaped from snow. Water waits in a jug beside you, room temperature. The yeast already stirred in, tiny bubbles forming on the surface, small proof that something is alive in there, something ready to do its quiet work. You pour a thin stream into the well. The water pools for a moment, catches the lamplight, then begins to seep into the flower walls. You take the wooden scraper, begin to stir. Round and round and round. The flower falls into the water. The water thickens, becomes something else, something that wants to be touched. You keep stirring, round and round, until there's no more water, no more dry flower, just this new thing, this rough, shaggy mass, waiting for your hands. You dust your palms with flour and reach in. The dough is cool at first, uncertain. It clings to your fingers. But you know to be patient. You know to be gentle. You know the dough will find its way in time. You don't need to push hard. The dough doesn't ask for force. It asks for presence, for warmth, for hands that know when to wait. The bench supports you, solid beneath your palms. The wood holds your weight without complaint. The warmth from the oven makes every movement easier, softer, like the room itself is helping. You press, the dough gives. You fold, the dough accepts. You turn, the dough follows. Press, fold, turn. Press, fold, turn. The motion settles into your body. Your arms know the rhythm. Your breath knows when to slow. Rest, fold, rest, rest, fold, rest. You pause between movements. Let the dough settle. Let your hands settle. Let everything find its own pace. Dust, fold, turn. Dust, fold, turn. Dust, fold, turn. A routine your hands learned long ago, a rhythm that needs no deciding, that asks nothing but repetition, and repetition asks nothing but presence. And then it happens. The dough changes under your palms without announcement. One moment rough, the next smooth, elastic, alive beneath your touch. It springs back when you press, holds its shape when you pause. Warm now from your hands, ready now for rest. The banneton waits. You dusted it earlier, the spiral pattern pale against the weave. You set the dough inside, gently, the way you'd set down something sleeping. The linen cloth folds over, covers the dough, tucks it in. And now the bench. You take the scraper, slide it across the wood, gathering the scattered flour, the bits of dough left behind. A soft cloth follows, folded once, wiping in slow strokes, smoothing the surface until it's clean, until it's ready for whatever comes next. Sift, sweep, settle. Sift, sweep, settle. The flour that escaped finds its way back to the pile. The scraper rests in its place. The cloth folds itself over the edge of the bench. Everything in order, everything at rest. The way a room breathes easier when it's tidy. There's nothing to do now but wait. The dough rests under its linen cover. The oven hums behind you. The snow holds the village still. You settle onto the wooden stool by the window. Sturdy, familiar, worn smooth by other people who sat here. Other watchers, other waiters. The apron across your lap carries a gentle weight, cotton, flour dusted. The kind of weight that feels like staying, the kind that feels like belonging. Your hands rest on your knees, still warm from the dough, still soft with flour. Nothing to hold, nothing to shape, just resting. The cup of cocoa is within reach. You lift it, wrap your fingers around it again. Feel the warmth move from ceramic to skin, from your palms to your wrists, a slow spreading, the kind that asks nothing in return. The room settles into its own quiet music. The oven first, hum, tick, low and steady. The fire inside doing its patient work. Heat pressing into stone. Stone holding heat like a long exhale. Then the snow, Soft, soft. On the roof above, on the window ledge, the sound of weight finding its place, settling without hurry. Then the clock, tick, tock, somewhere in the corner, measuring time that doesn't need measuring, counting minutes that don't need counting. Each sound arrives on its own. The oven's hum, the snow's soft pressure, the clock's patient measure. And then they're simply here together, not competing, not asking to be noticed, just present, the way old friends can be in the same room without speaking. The cocoa has cooled slightly now, but it's still warm enough, still good. You take one last sip, then set the cup down on the shelf beside you, so softly it makes almost no sound. Your hands return to your lap, empty now, resting. Your jaw has loosened without your knowing. Your lips parted just slightly. Your face has smoothed. The small tensions you didn't notice gone now. Your eyelids have grown heavy, not closing, just resting lower, the way they do when nothing needs watching. Your head tilts slightly forward, finding its own weight, settling into stillness. You let your hands rest around the cocoa cup. The warmth moves through your fingers, into your palms, up through your wrists. Your shoulders have softened. The oven's heat found them, gathered there, released something you didn't know you were holding. The apron weight presses gently against your thighs, grounding, steadying, a soft reminder that you're here, that you're still. Your breath has found its own pace. In and out, in and out, following the rhythm of the room. You let your gaze drift to the window. The frost has crept further across the glass, feathers of ice spreading from the edges, patterns that will never repeat, each crystal finding its own shape. Through the clear center, the snow, glowing faintly now, the darkness shifting, less black, more blue. Somewhere far away, the clock, tick, tock, softer now, farther now. The oven hums its steady note, hum, tick, pulling you back to the room, to the warmth, to the flower-scented hush that holds everything. Your breath slows, your eyes grow heavy. The frost blurs, the snow softens. The dough rises somewhere behind you. You don't need to watch. The yeast is doing its quiet work. Tiny bubbles forming in the dark, lifting the dough, Slowly, the way things lift when no one is watching. And you are part of the stillness now, part of the warmth, part of the waiting that asks nothing. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one expecting. Just this, just here, just now. Hum, tick, in and out. Hum, tick, in and out. Morning is coming, but morning knows how to wait, and so do you. Time has passed. You don't know how much. The clock kept counting, but you weren't listening. The dough has risen. You can tell without looking. The cloth has lifted. The banneton feels different when your hand rests near it. Fuller, lighter somehow. The yeast finished its quiet transformation. You stand slowly. The stool creaks once beneath you, a familiar sound, the sound of things well used and still willing. The oven has been waiting, building heat all through the night, all through the rising, patient as stone. The wooden peel hangs on its hook, long handle, flat paddle. You lift it down. The banneton tips gently. The dough falls onto the peel, soft, round. The spiral pattern pressed into its surface, a mark left by the basket, a quiet signature of patience. You carry it to the oven. The iron door radiates warmth before you touch it. You lift the latch. Click. And warmth blooms. A wave of heat, dry, ancient, the heat of fires that have burned here through generations. You slide the dough inside, onto the stone floor. It settles there, finding its place. The door closes. Click. And now it bakes. Hum, tick, glow. Hum, tick, glow. The oven does its work. The bread becomes itself. And you return to the bench. Not to the stool this time, but to the quiet work that continues without urgency. The linen cloth that covered the dough lies folded. You smooth it with your palm. Feel the soft weave. Fold it once more, then again, until it's a neat square, ready for the basket again. Beside you, the twine has come loose from its coil. You gather it slowly, wind it around your fingers, round and round. A gentle pull, a soft loop forming, until it's a tight little ball. You set it back in its place. The paper bags hang waiting. You take one down. Feel how the paper has warmed from the room. Soft now, pliable. You fold the top once, a quiet crease. Then fold it again. Set it aside. Another bag, the same gentle fold, the same soft crease. The paper rustles. Barely a sound, just enough to know it's there. Fold, crease, set aside. Fold, crease, set aside. The cooling rack sits on the counter, metal bars, waiting. Soon it will hold warm bread. After a while, you don't know how long a sound. Soft, almost nothing. A crackle, the gentlest crackle. The crust finding its final form, tiny fissures opening in the heat. The bread speaking its readiness in a language that needs no translation. You move to the oven, lift the latch. Click. Warmth blooms again. You slide the peel inside, lift the loaf. It's golden now. The spiral pattern darkened, the crust firm. You set it on the cooling rack. Tink. The sound of hot bread meeting metal. A small sound, a satisfying sound. The bread will cool slowly. The kitchen will fill with that smell. The one that makes everywhere feel like a place you've known before. The one that makes every morning feel like return. The paper bags rest on the counter now, soft from the room's warmth, folded once at the top, then once more. The twine waits beside them, ready for a loose tie when the time comes, but not yet. Through the window, true morning. Gold now, the snow turned amber, the shadows gone soft. The village will wake soon, doors will open. Footprints will mark the lane. Someone will come for bread. But not yet. Not yet. For now, it's still yours. This warmth, this quiet, this small world of flour and fire. The other helper has slipped away. When? You don't know. The corner where they worked is empty, but the loaves on the shelf remain. Evidence of shared quiet, of work done side by side without words. You close your eyes, just for a moment, just to listen. The oven hums. The bread crackles softly as it cools. The clock ticks far away. The snow holds its gold. And you, nothing more to do, nothing more to be. Just resting in the rhythm of things that continue without effort. And you, nothing asked of you. To wait, to breathe, to rest, to let the warmth find you, to let the bread finish cooling, to let the morning arrive whenever it chooses. The snow glows. The oven hums. The bread rests on its rack. The paper bags wait in their row. Folded. Ready. The twine coiled beside them. The clock ticks somewhere you can barely hear. Tick, tock, tick. Softer now. Farther now. And you are resting. The flour rests with you. The bench is smooth. The linen folded. The bread cooling. The paper warming from the room. The twine loose and waiting. The oven breathing low. Hum, tick. A distant tick. Hum, tick. From the old brick heart. The snow holds the village in gold. The warmth holds everything still. And you, flour-dusted palms, hearth-warm shoulders, uncounted minutes. The morning outside, the stillness inside, a flower-scented hush, oven warm, unhurried, home